Welcome back to the evidence room, where the files are open and the mysteries refuse to stay buried. Today's case, November 24th, 1971, Thanksgiving Eve. A man in a business suit, sunglasses, and a black tie walks onto a Boeing 727 with a briefcase and a plan so audacious it sounds like a Hollywood script. His name? Dan Cooper, or as the media mistakenly dubbed him, D.B. Cooper.
This guy hijacked a commercial flight, extorted $200,000 in cash, demanded 4 parachutes, and then jumped out of the plane mid-flight into a thunderstorm over the Pacific Northwest. And here's the kicker: he was never seen again. No body, no parachute, just vanished like smoke in the wind.
For 53 years, the FBI chased ghosts. Then, in July 2025, they dropped a bombshell, a 398-page dossier revealing everything they knew about America's only unsolved skyjacking. Spoiler alert, they still don't know who he was. But buckle up, because this rabbit hole goes deep, and I'm taking you all the way down. Let me set the scene. Northwest Orient Flight 305, Portland to Seattle. 36 passengers, a normal Thanksgiving Eve flight. Our guy Cooper, mid-40s, average height, wearing a raincoat over that suit, orders a bourbon and soda. Classy. Then he hands the flight attendant, Florence Schaffner, a note. She thinks it's a phone number because, hey, it was the 70s and flight attendants dealt with this constantly. But Cooper leans over and whispers, "Miss, you'd better look at that note. I have a bomb." Florence opens it. The note reads, "I have a bomb in my briefcase. I will use it if necessary. I want you to sit next to me. You are being hijacked." She sits down. He opens the briefcase just enough for her to see red cylinders, wires, and a battery. Whether it was real or the greatest bluff in aviation history, nobody wanted to find out. Cooper's demands? $200,000 in $20 bills, 4 parachutes, 2 primary, 2 reserve, and a fuel truck standing by in Seattle. The airline agrees immediately because this is pre-9/11 America, and the policy was simple: give them what they want, get everyone home safe. The plane circles Seattle for 2 hours while the FBI scrambles to gather the ransom. When they land, Cooper releases all the passengers in exchange for the money and parachutes. The plane takes off again at 7:40 p.m. with just Cooper and the crew. Destination: Mexico City, with a refueling stop in Reno. Cooper gives specific instructions: fly below 10,000 feet, keep the speed under 200 knots, landing gear down, flaps at 15 degrees. The crew thinks he's insane because those settings guzzle fuel and make the plane unstable, but they comply. Cooper heads to the rear of the aircraft. At approximately 8 p.m., somewhere over the wilderness between Portland and Seattle, the crew feels a sudden pressure change. The tail of the aircraft dips. The aft stairway warning light flashes on. Flight 305's tail just got lighter by about 200 pounds, the weight of 1 man, 1 parachute, and $200,000 in cash. D.B. Cooper jumped into a freezing rainstorm in total darkness over dense forest and rugged terrain, wearing just a business suit and loafers. 10,000 feet altitude, 200-mile-per-hour winds, 7-degree weather, pitch black night, driving rain, 0 visibility. Most expert skydivers wouldn't attempt this jump under perfect conditions, let alone in a suit with a briefcase of money strapped to their body. And yet, when the plane landed in Reno, Cooper was gone. The only things he left behind? His clip-on tie, a few fingerprints, and a mystery that would haunt the FBI for half a century. The search began immediately. The FBI combed through the suspected drop zone, a rugged area near Ariel, Washington. They found nothing. No parachute, no body, no money, no trace. It's like he evaporated mid-air. Some say he died on impact. Others believe he survived and lived out his days with the perfect score. The truth? Still locked in the evidence room. The FBI launched one of the most extensive manhunts in American history, codenamed NORJAC, Northwest Hijacking. They interviewed hundreds of suspects, followed thousands of leads, and came up empty every single time. But they did find some breadcrumbs. In 1980, an 8-year-old boy named Brian Ingram was building a campfire along the Columbia River when he uncovered $5,800 in decomposed $20 bills. Serial numbers matched Cooper's ransom money. This discovery shifted the entire investigation. If the money was in the river, did that mean Cooper landed in water and drowned? Did he bury it and it washed downstream? Or did he lose it during the jump? The bills were partially disintegrated, suggesting they'd been submerged for years. But here's the weird part. They were found in a layer of sand that, according to geologists, was deposited after 1974, meaning the money arrived there at least 3 years after the hijacking. How? Nobody knows.
Then there's the tie. Cooper left behind a black clip-on JCPenney tie, and in 2011, scientists found rare metallic particles on it. Pure titanium, stainless steel, and aluminum alloy. This wasn't your average office worker's tie. These particles suggested Cooper might have worked in aerospace, chemical manufacturing, or metallurgy. Was he an engineer, a machinist, a Boeing employee? The tie became the Rosetta Stone of the case.
Over the decades, the FBI investigated over 800 suspects. There was Richard Floyd McCoy, who pulled off a nearly identical hijacking just 5 months later, but was killed in a shootout. There was Kenneth Christensen, a former paratrooper and Northwest Airlines employee. There was Robert Rackstraw, an Army veteran with demolitions training. And then, in July 2025, the FBI released that 398-page file, revealing they'd been chasing another lead, an aerospace engineer who disappeared shortly after the hijacking. Still, no definitive answer. So what really happened to D.B. Cooper? Here's what we know for certain. He jumped. Beyond that, pure speculation. The prevailing FBI theory was always that he died on impact, that no one could survive that jump in those conditions. But the lack of a body, the missing parachute, and the strategic placement of that ransom money tell a different story. In 2016, the FBI officially closed the case, stating they'd exhausted all credible leads. But that July 2025 file dump, that reignited everything. Amateur sleuths, YouTubers, and retired investigators are now poring over those 398 pages like it's the Dead Sea Scrolls. Some believe Cooper was a disgruntled Boeing employee with inside knowledge. Others think he was ex-military, possibly special forces. A few conspiracy theorists even claim he was a government operative testing airline security. My personal favorite theory? He survived, lived quietly in some small town, and took his secret to the grave, probably laughing every time he saw a documentary about himself. Because let's be honest, if you pulled off the only unsolved skyjacking in American history and got away with $200,000, would you tell anyone? I wouldn't. What makes the D.B. Cooper case so enduring isn't just the mystery, it's the audacity. In an era where everything is surveilled, tracked, and recorded, Cooper represents something we've lost, the ability to simply disappear. He's a ghost in the machine, a legend written in the clouds, and a reminder that some mysteries are meant to stay unsolved.
This is the evidence room, and this case, it stays open. If you've got theories, drop them below. And if you're D.B. Cooper watching this, buddy, we need to talk.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more unsolved mysteries. Until next time, keep questioning everything.